Care about your credit score now.
I have some purchase regrets. What about coworkers?
Do you want to be the fourth baby mama?
Don't have no kids.
You might have to decide if you want to teach a man, period.
Uh-oh, the game in trouble. Started out small, now they paying me double. Yeah, you can drip chip, baby, like mustard. Yeah.
Hey y'all, my name is Jordan, or JorWish, and welcome to or back to my channel. I'm here with my two friends,
Tiana,
Jay,
and we're just gonna do a girl chat. We always have these conversations when we're just hanging out, and we figure why not hang out with y'all. We're in our like early/mid 20s, so
this hurts every time.
but you know, but we're still young ourselves, but there's still things that we know now that we wish we knew when we were younger, or that we want to tell younger people too. Once again, we asked you all for suggestions on Instagram or in the community tab on my channel, so make sure that you have your post notifications on so you get alerts for stuff like that, and follow us on Instagram.
we have a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll start with career. Okay, we'll start with like advice for college seniors, or like even people in high school that don't necessarily know what they want to do when they graduate. I know I didn't necessarily know. Oh, I guess, okay. I mean, I know I was going to law school. But even that decision was kind of, it wasn't, you know, anything too deep for me. Like, I kind of just the person that once I decide on something, I'm set on it and I just do it.
I think I knew, I knew what I wanted to do and go to law school, but I think that talking to people like solidifies that. Like, I feel like being able to like connect with people or find people who are doing what you might be interested in doing, and actually hearing about what that looks like in the real world. Because I feel like even getting to law school, whatever like conception you have of that was like influenced from like social media or like TV.
Yeah.
And it's like not always gonna be the real thing. So I think talking to people helps solidify that, but I kind of always knew what I wanted to do.
I'm completely different, y'all. I was pre-med for 3 years and then figured out I could not be a doctor. There is no way y'all are gonna have me on shift for 48 hours and you want me to go save somebody's life. No. So I would just say don't be really concerned with like trying to stick with something that isn't for you. Like if it's not working for you, get out there and try to find your other interests. I ended up going into criminal justice, and honestly, like I'm really big into restorative justice systems, so that's really like my passion. I would have never knew that if I would just kept suffering through pre-med.
Yeah, and now you all like I'm saying, back in my day, we didn't have like the TikToks of like, oh, a day in the life of a tech person working in tech, or a person working in X, Y, and Z field. So really take advantage of that. I think we just need to normalize not knowing what you want to do. And just because you choose something for now, that doesn't mean you're married to that forever. So it's okay, you know, just if you're like, okay, I don't know what I want to do, but I'll do this for now, like that's fine.
And try to get as much on-hand opportunities as you can, like internships or people who come and visit your schools and they like give presentations or what a day in the life is. That's pretty much where I found out this is not for me. Like we had a presenter come in and I was like, oh, absolutely not. I don't think I would like this at all. So just make sure you go to those things, because that gives you a real life example of what you might be in. Because there's so many people out here who hate their job and they feel stuck.
A lot.
Yeah, like just they're like, I would have never did this. I should have did, I don't know, be a vet or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What about coworkers and like life in the workplace?
I might have like a different perspective, but I don't think that your coworkers really should be your friends unless there's like a really strong,
I agree,
like just like relate, you know, like, or a connection or something that like is also independent of the workplace. But I think that you always just have to keep in mind that like the people that you work with should not know everything about you, and like they should not see you in every setting. You have to be really aware of that. And I think sometimes people get like really relaxed, and especially when you're like a new person or the more junior person, or yeah, you know, like you don't want to risk having a bad reputation, and people will take those things and hold them against you. So you have to always be like professional. Don't tell all your business. Like don't talk about other people. You don't know who's friends with who. Yes. Or like who, you know, the boss has a close relationship with. It's just not really worth it. I think just go to work, get your job done, like do a good job, and keep your other friends, and like those are the people that you could be your raw self with.
I feel like our work settings have been we work in like a really formal corporate America setting where the hierarchy is really distinct. Everyone is aware of it, but there are other settings, but I would say, yeah, don't be friends with your coworkers. A lot of times I hear my friends my age complain about being micromanaged at work. And I mean, it is annoying, don't get me wrong, but I would kind of take that and just make it, you know, your advantage. When you're younger in the workforce, like people are going to try to, some people are on a power trip, okay? This is like as much power they get in their life and they're just like, oh, I'm going to be this boss. I'm going to tell her what to do. She's young. That little girl doesn't know anything. Whole time you can know the job better than them and they're the ones messed up. But just literally just let them have it. You know, if this job means that much to them and they don't have a life outside of that, okay. But I'm not gonna let a micromanager upset me. Like, okay, yep, and then be proactive, send it to them before they even ask you about it. Or, you know, start asking them a million questions so that, you know, but I would just say to be prepared, you're probably gonna be micromanaged or they're gonna talk to you like you're dumb just because you're younger. But
yeah, or even if it's not a micromanager, you're going to work with someone at any job that you don't really like how they work or who they are as a person. Like I remember my first job being McDonald's, my mom being like, Tiana, you're gonna, when you're like, it doesn't matter if you're working at McDonald's or a barista or a lawyer or a doctor, like you're gonna have a coworker who you do just like, you just don't vibe with them. And
that's life.
Yeah, the quicker you can accept that and just like get the work done, the better it will be, because it doesn't really matter what you do for a living. That's just what it is.
And you're also just gonna have, especially like if you do happen to fit into that young black girl narrative, like you're gonna have people who, like Jordan said earlier, little girl you constantly. They're gonna try to basically take away your accomplishments, say that you didn't do certain things. Like I've had people legit just be like, oh, you didn't work there, you didn't do that, and I'm like, why do you think I would be lying to you? Like, I don't know what it is. But you just really have to understand that it kind of comes from a place of them not expecting you to have that type of like expertise at that age and with our demographics. So just make sure that you kind of take that with like a stride. Don't get defensive, don't get loud, yell at them, just prove them wrong. Yeah, literally.
My last tidbits on career would be to make sure your online presence is okay. I'm not, you know, people getting canceled, I'm not posting anything problematic, crazy, but even still, like, you know, just make sure that won't give people a reason to not hire you, to fire you, whatever. And, you know, even talking about work on social media, like, don't do it. And then,
it all comes back somewhere.
Yeah, don't let coworkers follow you on social media. Like, just don't do it. And then I know sometimes you just want to quit a job and just tell everybody F you and, you know, tear it up, but don't burn unnecessary bridges, because you never know who could help you get your next job. The world is really small, so if you have to leave, or just leave on a good note. Like, always be professional in your career, even if it is McDonald's, anywhere, literally, it's a job. So try to only let that be a good thing and not be like, dang, I can't go to none of those people because I acted a fool.
And also just be careful, because you never know, even in certain fields, you never know what part of the job environment you're going to end up in. You don't always have the say-so in who they get to contact. Like, there's jobs where you never thought you would get to this place where you need some sort of clearance or some sort of background investigation, and they're not asking you, oh, like, can we contact this boss? They're literally contacting your high school bosses, your college teachers, your professors, your friends, people you fell out with for a certain reason. So just make sure you try to be as clean as possible on social media, because those will affect you in the future.
Next up is family. So the question is like how to set boundaries with family.
I think you can only like set boundaries by setting boundaries. There just has to come a point, hopefully it doesn't have to be like a breaking point or like a bad like falling out with somebody, but I think at some point you just have to set boundaries. And that could be like with your personal business, you know, like if you have family, you know, a parent who wants to know like everything about your dating life, or like if you have family who like asks to borrow money or anything. But I mean, I think in my experience, at a certain point you just get tired of it. Like you say yes until you're tired of it, and that's kind of unfortunate, but the sooner that you can do that, the better. And I think I had to realize, like, if I'm draining myself to like help other people, I'm not actually gonna progress. I can't save up to keep, you know, like elevating if I'm like giving my money away or like something like that. And then you're just gonna stay at the same place. And also a lot of time your family members, like, they don't have the objective view of like what you have. Like sometimes they'll think that you have more than you have, which is also a good reason to just not share your business.
Don't tell them how much you make.
Don't tell them how much you make, like how much, you know, what you pay in rent. Like it's just not their business, you know, and because people will hear that, and to them it seems like something more.
You're like, oh, I'm barely making even.
Yeah, or I think I saw Michelle Obama talk about this, and she was basically saying that, because she also started in Big Law too, and she was like, she got to a point where, you know, she was, you know, giving everyone money, but someone told her, like, look, you're not gonna, like you said, get to that next level. Like, it's really tempting to, once you get your first little check or big, you know, big girl check, to just be like, oh my gosh, like, mom, everyone, whatever.
Yeah.
But literally, but you have to be conservative with it, you know, because you're just getting there. So just kind of slow your roll with the gifts and stuff. I would say with setting boundaries, it's definitely harder to do when you live at home. Once you're able to move out, hopefully, it becomes way easier to set those boundaries. But when you're at home, just know that I sympathize with you, and it's kind of like, I agree with the whole thing. Okay, if you're under someone's roof, you do kind of have to follow their rules, because you don't want to be out here with no roof. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But a lot of times the generational gaps, like family, at least my family, they didn't grow up with setting boundaries with nobody. It was, you do what someone told you to do. And it's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's like, oh, you didn't hear me? You want me to say it again? Because it's my way. So, and that's been, you know, my parents have been really receptive, though, to me, like, just expressing myself, but it's new to them. You know, it's not something that's easy. But I know everyone is different, so it is set the boundary. But also, if you get pushback from that, all you can do for yourself is just say, okay, well, I tried. But it's on them. It's on the other person to respect that, but just know you already did well just even trying to set that boundary.
And try to say it in the most respectful way that you can. Like, we all know how our parents receive things at this point. Don't just think you're grown now and you're just like, well, F this, like, I'm gonna blah, blah, blah. Like, no, girl, sit your mom or sit your dad down and be like, hey, can we really talk about this? Because this is how it is, X, Y, and Z. But I would say an underrated boundary that I think a lot of people don't consider is also, this kind of goes for your friends too. You can't do everything all the time, in a sense of, my family travels a lot. Like, my brothers play football, so we're always have somewhere to go, somewhere to do. And like, for me, like, my dad and my mom, they expect me to go everywhere, to the point where I'm literally asking my job for 3 weeks off out the month and leave, because I'm like, I gotta go here.
She not lying.
Literally not lying. And I had to realize, like, I actually had a friend, like, kind of pull me up and just be like, you can't do everything. You can't be expected to go on every trip. So when I had to have a point where I'm telling my parents, like, hey, you know, I can't come. They're like, what do you mean you can't come? This is family time. Like, I'm like, yeah, but you're gonna be paying these bills real soon, or I'm gonna be back under your roof if I keep doing this. So just try to set boundaries within, like, you can't go everywhere and do everything. It's gonna be hard, y'all, especially if they're paying for it. But you gotta stay at home, sit down.
And I think if it is like a parent, I think in that dynamic, you just have to remind her, like, it can be hurtful, but I feel like if you've tried, you have to still remember you're like the child. And sometimes parents either want to see you as a grown-up when it's convenient for them, or a child when it's convenient for them. But like, at the end of the day, like, you're their child when you're 2, and you're still their child when you're 20. And either way, like, a lot of responsibility, you know, is on both parties, but also, like, a parent has to be a parent. And if you feel like that's not what you're getting as the child, then having your boundaries is appropriate in that situation.
Yeah, and someone on TikTok was like, remember that this is your parents' first time living life too, which, you know, you would think is obvious, but sometimes I'm like, okay, dang, like, they're just figuring it out like me. Like, it's not like they've had a daughter before. I'm the first, I'm the oldest. But, you know, just kind of have some grace for them, like, they're human too, I guess. But everyone can improve.
Everyone.
The next topic is finances. Topics were moving out, saving, spending habits.
Stay in the house as long as you can. If you don't gotta get out and you can save for a house or a condo, something that you can rent, stay in the house as long as you can. Do not come out here with $6,000 thinking that you have enough to be able to move out and have substantial rent. No. That $6,000 gonna be ate up before the 30 days is even up.
Yeah, I mean, where we are, rent is high. And I was even asking my mom, I was like, so mom, when you were around my age, how much was a 1-bedroom apartment? $500-$600.
That's parking.
Literally. So now you're not gonna get a one bedroom. If you get something 2,000 or it's rarely that it's under 2,000.
It's not gonna be under 2,000 unless you want a studio.
And that's kind of like all major metropolitan areas. No matter where you are watching this, if you're in a big city,
it's gonna be around 2,500. But
yeah.
Saving, okay, for me personally, saving is a luxury. Like when I was in college, I was not saving shit, okay? I was the person in the club waiting for the direct deposit to hit so I could take an Uber home. Like my account, listen, I think the lowest I got.
You really gotta stay, well, I wasn't buying no bottles, but to stay for anything. You just have to wait a little longer, past 12, wait till 1.
Like,
and God forbid it don't come through
for
whatever reason.
What's the thing?
Oh yeah.
Sometimes it comes in at 3 o'clock, like 3 a.m.
Yeah, I didn't start saving money until I started making money, and that is what, maybe a year or 2 ago. Thank goodness I started saving, but I'm saving right now. People are like, save, save, save. I totally get it if you don't even make enough to save. Okay,
yeah.
So I'm gonna tell you that right now as a young person. Now, okay, once you have a steady income, okay, but sometimes you don't be having enough. I would be making maybe $300 every 2 weeks. That wasn't enough for me to really save much.
Right, no.
Between, you know, the Ubers and the going out and Uber Eats, what am I gonna save?
Yeah.
But, so I think when you're young, I mean, definitely save if you can. It's smart to save, but I'm not gonna bash anyone who's under 25 and you haven't saved anything. I think it's okay, but.
And like where you are in your journey. Like, like college, like we did undergrad and then we did law school. And so like that pushes you like a little bit, you know, farther. Like I didn't save in law school. I started to save when I started my real job almost exactly 1 year ago. I started to save money at 25, basically. But my savings, my inability to save was because I was fully supporting myself through college and law school. So yeah, there was like nothing left over. Once you do start making money, and it's really hard for me to save. So I feel like there are a lot of people like that. It's like really hard for me to save money. But what's worked for me is to be like out of sight, out of mind. And I've done that through a financial advisor, which contrary to what I thought, you can get like financial advising services pretty cheap. Of course, you might have to like, you know, kind of figure it out, but I have a financial advisor who at first I was meeting with him a lot, and like now I only will hit him up if I have questions about like how my, you know, accounts are looking or something like that. But it's like really not expensive services, and that was able to set me up where it's like automatic withdrawal goes, you know, I don't even see the money, it just automatically goes into this savings account, and then like automatic money goes into like my 401k and like a Roth IRA and all these things, which again, I don't even know what they are.
You don't need that Roth IRA.
But the thing is, like, I don't even know what they are, but I found somebody who does know what those things are and who I trust. Yeah. And so I don't even see it, but like if I hit him up, I'm like, hey, how much is in this account? And he'll text me back, I'm like, all right, you know, it's like a year, and I'm like, that's great. But because if it was up to me, I couldn't do it. So I acknowledge for some people it's just hard. So if you can just not even see it or like have that access, then that really works too.
I didn't even start putting bills on auto pay. I probably did that maybe within the last year, because I was just no, not auto. not auto. Yeah. But now it's a little better, but I mean, it's hard. I'm just saying, I think it's, a lot of people are like, oh my God, you have nothing saved, you don't save. I'm not that person, me personally. I think you know what's right for you. Don't beat yourself up if you can't save right now. Yeah. Life is hard and life is short.
Yeah. Okay. Take that trip, girl.
Speaking of take that trip, let's talk about our spending habits, and like, is there anything you regret spending money on, or things that you wish you spent money on early on?
Peloton. I hate that thing. It sits there. It just sits there.
But there goes my brand. That is sponsored, potentially. I'm just kidding.
Honestly, I really am trying to get back into loving it. I think I don't like it because it's in my living room, because you know, we're, you know, starter apartment. So my apartment is so small. It's like my kitchen, living room, Peloton is in one area. My dog's crate is right in front of it. And like, I think it's just something mentally about working out. Yeah, like working out in my living room, where I'm just like, no, like this is where I'm supposed to relax. But I am trying, starting today, on a new little Peloton journey. So I'm gonna try to ride it 30 days. We'll see how that goes.
I don't think I have purchase regrets. I think that's why I'm so bad at saving, like I just said. But I often will like have like the guilt after. It's like, oh my God, I spent way too much money. I spend money on experiences. Me personally, like I might treat myself to like a nice like item, but if it's an experience, like I'm gonna order whatever I want on the menu, like as many appetizers, as many cocktails, like get the Beyonce ticket.
This is exactly why I was broke. I think
around people like this. But the thing is like, sometimes it makes me a little sick to my stomach after, but I'm like, I enjoyed that moment so much, and like nothing else can give me that except that I like had to come out of pocket for it, and like I had the most amazing time. It's a memory that I'll never forget. And maybe that's an easy like excuse to like just excuse it, but that's just how I feel about experiences. And I think I'm becoming like more of that person, like less of like the items. And I just feel like if I'm spending it on a trip, like I think I'm okay with that, as opposed to like $3,000 on a purse versus $3,000 on a vacation or something. I don't know, but and everybody's different, but I'm just there. But that is also, I only spend from those things from the money that I have in my account, so not the money on the other, not the money that you don't see. The money that you don't see, you won't spend. So it works out.
Yeah. I like to see all my money, but maybe I'll get to that point.
I need to.
But right now, I'm looking for more.
I think food is what like gets me caught up. Like you said, like the experience. Like for me, I want that lamb chop, and I want that 24-ounce bone-in ribeye, and I want that
lemon
side,
drop.
and I want about 4 lemon drops with tequila, and upcharge
dessert.
it to the dawn.
Yeah.
I do not want Jose Cuervo. Sometimes I get beside myself, and like I will literally have, like I went to Florida, y'all, and had a $600 bar tab. How?
A solo?
Yes, we broke up the check.
Girl.
Like, I just think about that.
I know you best have broken up that check.
Oh, of course.
Hell
you know.
no, we're not splitting.
I feel like that's also how we socialize at our age, and profession aligns as well. Like, it's so popular in our like career fields to do happy hour, then just geographically where we live to do happy hour, to do brunch. Like, this is the, like, this is how you socialize, is over food and drinks at this point.
I would say I have some purchase regrets, okay? For one,
you buy a lot of knickknacks. Like, I just know I can find whatever I need at Jordan's house. But she gets so much random. Jordan have these glasses, y'all. We come into her house, she had these glasses that you could read laying down.
Okay, like, I don't regret those. I will say, don't show me an infomercial. Don't show me an infomercial. But okay, things I regret. Damn, y'all, I had it and you made me forget.
Sorry.
Oh no.
You want me to start reminding you of some things?
Okay, well, for one, off the top of my head, spending money at the club ever. Because we can go to the club for free, but I mean, it was an experience, you know, graduation night was an experience. I loved having all you all there, but that tab was ridiculous. Like, it was just a lot of money, and you know, we probably,
And I'm saying, I've been a little bit bitter spending money celebrating myself. I won't put bitter on you, but I have been. Like, it's just like,
and people pitched in. It could have been worse, for me at least. They pitched in, but still, it's like, it's crazy. So don't be popping bottles, y'all. The people who need to be popping bottles, I wouldn't say need to be, but the people who you see popping bottles that you want to be like, that look so cool, they're probably getting that money illegally.
Yeah.
Or they don't have it, it's credit.
Yeah, because it's just like, why are people spending like thousands and thousands in the club? Why am I spending way more months and months of rent on some bottles? Like, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm big on experiences. Like, that's things that you won't regret. Hey, me editing here. Okay, I remember what I was about to say. Basically, one of my biggest regrets is rushing to buy a car. I really wanted and needed a car, and instead of doing my proper research, I just kind of took the first thing smoking, which was a used car that ended up being like literally a death trap. So I just wish I did more research before buying the car, and honestly, at this point, I wish I just would have like financed a car and just gotten a car note, because the amount of money I put into repairs for that car, and literally always something wrong with it, and I literally don't even have it to this day, which is not the current car that is in the shop, but another car before that. So yeah, I just wish I would have done more research before buying a car, and that's my advice to you all. I actually don't regret most of my luxury purchases. I regret when they have gotten stolen, so don't bring them out the country for real. But you know, other than that, I don't really regret too many things. I feel like my spending habits, I'm not the best person to be giving financial advice, quite frankly. But Yeah, I would say just only do things, everything with a balance. Like, that's why I can't hang out with them all the time, because you see me be spending crazy amounts of money. So if you're gonna be doing that, okay, maybe I'll go to happy hour with y'all, because happy hour with my friends is not no $5, $6 happy hour.
No.
Because happy hour, for one, in DC happy hour, the drinks are still like $12, they're just not 15. And then after happy hour, okay, we're hungry. And by the time we're hungry, happy hour's closed, full, it's like, the day keeps going on and going on. And love them to death, love it, but I just can't afford to be doing that all the time right now. And even I feel like when I can, like, it's just, you just have to just find your limit when you can't do that stuff. Like, going out looks fun, looks cool, but let's be realistic. Like, it's okay if you can only do it every once in a while. Yeah, that's fine. Those restaurants will be fine.
And care about your credit score now. Now, don't wait.
It's so hard to pull.
Do not try to wait until after college. Of course, you can't, like, you can't help certain things. Like, I know when I started caring about my credit score and actually wondering about a credit card, the only thing I had affecting my credit was literally like old medical bills from when I was younger and stuff like that you don't really have a control on. So just try to be concerned about your score. Look at it. Don't be scared. Don't try to wait.
Get a credit card.
Yeah, like get a credit.
Get
it secured. Low limit credit card. Don't
spend what you don't have.
Yes. Y'all, please.
If your limit is $3,000, but your balance, you only got $200 in the day.
Your limit is not $3,000. Your limit
Your first credit card should be a $500 limit.
Ooh. Yeah.
And use it when you pump your gas and maybe buy some groceries, and then immediately move the money from the checking account to pay that off.
Yeah.
That you'll get extremely comfortable with that.
Yeah.
And it's bad.
Yeah. And last thing, just don't get caught up with scammer central. You look on Instagram nowadays.
Bank of America,
man. Not even just that. Like, that. Don't
give nobody. Don't let no one get anything
but
in your name.
Use your common sense. That's what I remember.
Yeah. You don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. There's no way for you to turn $20 into $2,000. Okay, I know they say
there is a way, but you going to jail. Lock them up.
Like, don't be falling for those scams. Are you crazy? And you're gonna ruin, because they're using your account. They're fine. You're the one. You're gonna get screwed over, and the feds are watching. Okay,
they're watching, and I know people being prosecuted.
Oh,
so once you get to give them your social and your name and your date of birth, it's not about them. It's about you.
Like, girl.
Last point on finances was about saving money in like this economy as far as like job security.
That's just back to what it is. You have to save your money. A good credit score is great to build because at a certain point, it won't be right away, but then you can borrow money as you should. But yeah, a lot of people are losing their jobs right now. And that's probably going to continue. It doesn't look like the economy is going to get better anytime soon. So you should at least have like a comfortable cushion if you have the luxury of saving, to where it's like if something were to happen, you have some money that can, you know, help you get by until you can find another job. But that's also just hard, I feel like, because like we said, I think a lot of people literally can't save. Like, they kind of
I think it's like, and definitely it's hard to save. But okay, let's say once you reach the point where you're like, okay, if I make X amount of point, I'm good. Don't try to live at that means, is kind of, I think, our advice. With like, still live, as below your means, because just as quickly as you got that new job where you're making X, Y, and Z, you can lose it, or they can take it away, or there can be a change. And so, a lot of times it's like, okay, get the new job, get the Benz, get the luxury apartment, get the bags, get all this, get your body done, get everything. But it's like, okay, girl, just slow down. Maybe it's okay to not drive a Benz right away. Like, it really is okay. And it's okay that you maybe want to stay in this apartment a little bit longer. Like, we know that, and I'm talking to myself also, because I can be really impulsive and I know what I want and I'm ready to get it. But if you really want to keep it for a long time, like, literally live below your means. And what I try to do before I buy stuff is I think like, okay, if Instagram did not exist, would I still want this? If I couldn't post this right now, would I still like want this bag? Would I still want this? And that has gotten me out of so many crazy purchases or trendy things that you like for 1 second, and then also when I see a bunch of people got it, I don't even want it anymore. So just really take your time when you're spending on luxury items.
That's a really good. I never like.
That's a good way.
Like, would I even care about this?
Literally, because that's what I thought about. Because, okay, random thought. Like, for my birthday, I was thinking I'm gonna pack liquor like with me, and I was like, oh my god, I want to get 1942. I want to get Azul for the look.
Shit is not even good.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, if I couldn't post this bottle, like, would I still want it? No. Let me just get some tequila and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
So it's like stuff like that where I catch myself like, okay, wow, I just saved myself 150 bucks.
Yeah, and just be careful, guys, like with your emergency fund. Like I used to feel like I was pretty okay, but you know, like things happen. Like literally my car has been through the ringer. Kid you not, like I probably had like $20,000 put into my car in the past month and a half. Like between an accident and getting stolen twice, like getting junk, like, you know, Kia Boys up 25, Jalen down 30. So just be sure that you do have an emergency fund, because like it can go fast too. So just be careful with that.
Yeah,
like you have to plan for the unexpected.
Yeah.
Like
if you get $5,000, you don't got to spend all 5,000.
Yeah.
And it's a community thing. We
Yeah.
gotta help our people.
We do.
We like to spend, and I like to spend too, but I'm fighting it. Fighting it, okay? You want to rush and get that chain? You don't need that chain, okay?
you don't need that chain.
No.
And you don't need the BBL at 21. Your body's not even done growing. Like,
all right, we go. Before we go down that road. Okay, next we're gonna talk about friendship advice. So what advice do you have for growing apart, like when to know when you're growing apart from a friend, and then / maintaining long distance friendship?
just let it happen. You don't have to have a fallout with somebody in order to like grow apart. So like, I think a lot of people need to also realize like growing apart does not equal we have beef or we have bad blood or I don't, like we have to have some type of falling out. Sometimes you just outgrow people and that's okay. Like, y'all still cool, you know?
Yeah. I don't know, my perspective on this is a little different just because I do have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
So I feel like it can be, when I do outgrow people, it's not really much to me. Because it's like, for me, it's way more where that came from. But when I was at a point, I think it was like my first 2 weeks at UCLA, and I didn't have a lot of friends, and the one person I thought was my friend, that whole thing went left. I was feeling alone, and I just wanted to do whatever. Well, no, for a short second, I was like, okay, let me just do whatever to just get that back, because I don't want to be here with no friends. Like, I was sad. But literally the beat goes on. It's 7 billion people on this planet. You will find other friends. And it just wasn't meant to be. And one lesson that I learned from one of my friends, Peyton actually, she was like, Jordan, you can't be friends with everybody. Like, you just can't be friends with everybody. Which is hard for me. Like, I'm a social person, I'm a people pleaser. Like, I want everyone to get along. But literally sometimes you just can't be friends with people. And that's okay, and you need to learn that sooner than later, because the older you get, you still have those bad friends around you. Your friends could have you ending up in jail.
Oh.
Your friends could just literally mess your life up.
Yeah.
So really take time to, take care of the company you keep, because that's a reflection of you, I think.
Yeah, and just not feeling bad about setting those boundaries, just like the same way we said with family or whatever it is. And I think that some people are like, this is not their speed, which is okay. But for me personally, I feel like I know that I have friends that are like in certain buckets, that are there for certain things. And some people don't like that. It's like, if you're not like a full, all around the board, we can do anything together and I can talk to you about anything, like, then we're not friends. And that's okay. But I do actually have friends that are like, okay, like, we get together and like we go out and like that's our thing. We have fun. You like to be, social and party, and then, there are a handful of people like that I would actually call and like cry to and vent to, and like I think that that's okay, and if it works for you, then that's good. I think some people are just kind of like in their lane, and that is what that is, and that's acceptable as well, as long as it works for you and you feel like it's a mutually beneficial relationship. It should never feel like a one-way thing and you're always the giver and people are always taking. But also some people can just only give what they're capable of giving, and like as long as like you're happy with that, that's fine too.
I know I've outgrown a friend, or like I don't want to be their friend anymore when I dread hanging out with them. Like, that's your friend, you should be looking forward to hanging out with them, you should be looking forward to seeing them. But when I'm like, let me mentally prepare to be around this one.
Which is usually someone who is, in my experience, negative all the time.
Yeah. Or if I have to tell people, like, if I have to be like, okay, y'all, this girl's coming,
yeah, she's kind of standoff. Like,
yeah, like, no.
She's kind of like, that got to go.
Yeah.
And that's been me lately. Like, I just don't. If every time we talk, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
There's a lot of y'all who it's something bad happens to you every day.
Ooh, I'm starting to feel like I'm becoming that friend. I just told I was like, no, I can't.
Taylor, don't be like that girl.
Oh, I really don't want to. That's why I'm just like, I have to.
Girl.
It's something wrong every
Find
day.
some silver lining in something.
Come with us to church.
Girl, I watched church this morning.
There you go.
And literally, I've been, okay, that's a whole other topic, but yeah, I say that all the time, which is so crazy because I feel like I'm becoming that girl, but I'm like, if it is something consistently wrong, somebody's always doing you wrong, your food is always nasty at the restaurant, like you don't like any of their clothes, you're always falling out with a friend, no. I don't know what
that drains you. That sucks your energy out. Because you already got your own shit going on. I don't need to be carrying your load too.
But a lot of people make their own mess.
Yes.
That's the thing. It's like you're complaining every single day, but I wonder why you're in this situation.
Literally, they be leaving out that part.
Yeah.
They leave out that part when they tell you. But as for maintaining long distance friends, I feel like I'm really good at this because I have friends all over. I'm literally still friends with people that I've known since I was like 6 or 7 years old. When I say I'm cool with my friends, like I talk to them every day. It's crazy. It's like okay, not basically talk, but like literally texting them something, sending them something on Instagram. Like I'm talking to people. I feel like in this day and age of social media, it's really easy to keep in contact with friends.
Yeah.
But we do have our check-ins. They're not regular, but like randomly someone like, hey, let's do life updates, and we'll just all hop on a group FaceTime. This is like within different friend groups. We'll hop on a group FaceTime and do it that way when they're long distance. And then even my local friends that live close to me, we still have to like, you know, just make an effort to hang out. I also think it's okay not to talk to your friends every day.
Yeah.
I actually prefer that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not in a relationship with you.
Yeah.
But
That's a big one.
yeah.
Your friends are not your man. And like, don't have people guilt trip you to think like, oh, you can't hang out with me every second day, but you always want to be with that man. You're not doing things for me that this man is doing for me. And I'm not a I'm a girl's girl.
I don't support
like,
ditching your friends.
I don't either.
And only being with that man.
But don't let that, we all have that one friend who tried to manipulate you and gaslight you to be like, oh, you don't want to do anything anymore because you have that man and this man's always there and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
No.
I think they be having a crush.
Yeah, like you want me. That's what it sounds like, girl.
Yeah.
Like, no. Sound like you need a job or something.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to talk about relationships. Ooh, juicy, juicy. I guess since we had friendship advice, this would be like romantic relationships. So we'll talk about knowing when a man doesn't like you.
It's very obvious.
It's gonna be loud and it's gonna be clear.
Well, I don't think so.
What are you talking about?
Okay.
Sometimes it's in you, not on you to know it. Cause my little
like come on now.
Senses.
I think
like
every man knows.
Always likes me.
That's my thing.
This is a Libra to the fullest extent.
Like I don't
like me.
I don't think. Yeah, I really don't. I mean, I really don't think I've ever dated anyone who did not like me. Did I like them? Probably not. But you all can speak on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you also don't even have to get to the dating stage.
Yeah.
So first, don't even get there. But I think that it's been common in my experience for somebody to pursue you. And so then like you might exchange number, like if it was, you know, maybe a DM, then you exchange numbers, maybe we're texting for a little bit. And then, I mean, I think it becomes obvious. It's like the communication isn't the same. Like there's a lapse in communication, or like the effort to hang out is gone, or like I'm the one making those like inquiries.
Yeah.
Or I think maybe that's like the major thing. Like
so from DM to text, what's the time frame when you're expecting to be asked out?
That depends on the conversation, I guess.
yeah, I mean, I'm not in a rush to like meet someone. Well, one, I would never date someone that I like don't have a connection to.
Yeah,
like I'm not responding to you if like I don't have a friend who knows you, or it's like, oh yeah, I remember him from somewhere. But I just think that the real lapse is in like, okay, we hung out once and we had like a really good time and you were like super kind and like a gentleman, you made the reservation, but and then the time goes by and like eventually there's no like ask to hang out, there's no other like we haven't, yeah, like the inconsistency, like because I just feel like genuinely people will always do what they want to do. And I think that there's not a lot of people busier than me or like busier than you. You know what I'm saying? And like we will make a way for our friends, our family. So it's like I know from personal experience that if I wanted to do something that I would do it. So
it's hard dating these days. I feel sorry for y'all. There's someone tweeted that the dating pool got pits in it.
I said that. The dating pool is literally toxic fluid. But also, this is something that my cheer coach told us at Morgan that like literally, like she screamed it at us all the time. That it is not a date going back to somebody's room. That's not a date. Like, you know a man does not like you for real if he's texting you and his first suggestion is, oh, like, yeah, I thought I was gonna stop by. Or, oh, yeah, like, I could pick you up, we can go over. No, that man just wants to fuck you. He does not want to date you. Like, but that's for real. Like,
yeah.
But I feel like, okay,
the first time should not be you coming to my house and I go to your house.
Like, dorm to dorm, okay.
Or like, I mean, at least we can go to the dining hall together, go to the library, but like, do something.
In our grown age,
you
like,
ice cream.
Yeah. Like, no, that's not gonna happen. Like, you're not, you know. I mean, if that's what you want, if that's gonna be just a stinky link or whatever, that's cool. That's not judging nobody for that. But like, if you are considering really dating that person, like, he's 9 times out of 10 not considering you that way, or she. Like, that's just not gonna happen.
Also, you might have to decide if you want to teach a man, period. I guess I don't even have to give more than that. If you want to teach a man, because I feel like I've had enough experience where maybe it's not that someone doesn't like me, it's just like you're not giving what I want, but that comes from having good experiences. Like, I've dated men who will, you know, and they weren't the person for me, but will go the whole way, like, you know, regularly buy flowers, open the car door, you know, they're planning dinner dates every week, like, you're having fun, like, it's just, you know, so great. And for whatever reason, maybe things don't work out, but then moving forward, it's like, to then deal with someone who does the bare minimum, like, I'm not gonna backtrack when I have seen how a man will act when they're actually interested in you.
Yeah, and I've been telling my friends who come to me sometimes, like, it shouldn't be hard. This isn't the hard stage right now. Like, we're young, you know, we're in our young years. Like, life is fun right now. We don't have too many responsibilities. So I think I genuinely, like, the universe, God will send those red flags. If it's so much hardship in the early days, run. Like, you don't gotta try to make it work right now. Like, we're in our early 20s or younger. You don't gotta try to make it work. I can see, okay, when people do that when they got kids and they've been married a few years, okay, try to make it work. But right now, we're not in the, I don't think I'm in the try to make it work, try to fight for it. What are we fighting for?
Yeah.
Just go on and move on, and you have so much of your life ahead of you. Like, that one person, you don't have one soulmate. And if you do, it definitely ain't that motherfucker making your life hell.
No.
Like, not
and the more time you spend on that, the more time goes by than finding someone who's actually going to treat you right.
Your blessings. You're blocking your blessings.
And one thing I feel like about God is he's gonna make them red flags bigger and bigger each time. So, like, take them early on, because you don't know what he's gonna give you in the future. Like, listen.
Exactly. Moving in, I'm not in a rush to live with someone else, but I think a lot of times it is the financially, you know, conservative way to go about it. But I feel like if I could only afford to live on my own, if I lived with my partner or whoever, I don't think I would be able to do it, because, you know, arguments happen, and like, when you're not married, like, I don't know why I don't want to subject myself to that, so I kind of like having my space now. Eventually, when we get there, it'll happen. But I think, and a lot of times I've heard that it can ruin a relationship when you move in too soon, because, I don't know, it's just too fast. So I'm personally like, wait until as close to marriage as possible to move in with someone. And then as far as the baby situation, I mean, I'm pro-choice.
Spend that 500 good. Like, just spend it. Oh my God. No.
Don't do it. The kid,
please.
Follow through. Don't have no kids. I believe don't have no kids. Don't have no kids before marriage. Will be all the way conservative with it. Absolutely not. Will a man marry you and still be bogus? Absolutely. But it's not about, the marriage part is not about what the woman wants to do. The marriage part is about, if the man is willing to actually marry you, that's showing way more than most men will. Like, try to get your baby daddy to marry you. He ain't doing it. He ain't done it. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that.
Oh my God.
If you can get the man to marry you first, there's a serious level of commitment there, even if he has other issues. Because you can't leave that so easily.
You can't.
Well, I also, another food for thought is when I just hate when I hear people say, oh, I'm not ready for marriage, I'm not ready for marriage, but I'm ready for kids. And I think kids is an even bigger commitment than marriage, which is why I think there's steps to it, because you can get a divorce, you can get it annulled, never see that person again, okay, restraining order, all that, but a child is permanent. It's forever.
And that's a selfish thing to say, like, oh, I'm not ready for marriage, but like we can have kids. Like, I feel like people aren't thinking about the kids when they say stuff like this. Like, you're not thinking about the core relationship and like what your children are going to witness and like the type of environment that they're going to be brought up in. Maybe you are, but for the most part, it just seems like,
and
we just want to give the best.
Yeah, because also some people don't, like, when you say like considering the kids, they think like, oh well, when I leave I'm just gonna take my kid. And like some dads and moms don't want to be in the kid's life after the relationship ends, but a lot of dads and moms do. And a lot of that other person takes that away from them when they go out and they move across to get away from you or this, that, and third, because they don't want to deal with you anymore. And unfortunately a lot of people aren't comfortable with the legal system in any way, so they don't do any steps they just cut their losses. And that's really selfish to your kid. If you have another parent in your kid's life that wants to be there, and because you don't want to deal with that other person, you're like, oh no, then you're just not going to see them, you're not going to see them. That is just the most, you're selfish as hell. Like, that's just, no, that's not.
And again, accountability, because you should know, I don't believe that you can't not know someone well enough to know how they would be if things didn't work out and like now all of a sudden they're a bad parent. I just think that there had to have been, or you just didn't take enough time to get to know the person before you guys had a child together, because you should be able to see in somebody if there's something questionable that you should, you know, think about and be concerned about, like, oh, like if we don't work out, like are they still gonna be around and like help and participate and all that kind of stuff. So
okay, another thing I just wanted to say is, like, I definitely understand, like, you know, stuff happens. So, you know, I'm just saying, ideally for me, like, I would want to be married first. I get it, some people have a different situation. And also, like, if you have money, it's also easier. But my thought is, like, you know, sometimes, like, I don't know, some people are just blinded by love.
Or if he has other kids that he already don't take care of.
Oh, that's, girl! Sorry, because that's just such a big red flag. Like,
even if maybe he even does have other kids he doesn't take care of, or maybe he does take care of them, but just the fact that it's a repeating cycle, that something seems to not be working out.
You really want to be the fourth baby mama?
Yeah, that random man in Atlanta.
Right, listen.
It's hard, and I think it's also harder on the girls. I'm sorry, like, it's so
definitely hard for the women.
Okay, another one is dating multiple people. I think that's like our advice, is to date multiple people.
Yeah,
that's what dating is. We have had this whole restructured idea of dating. Dating is, I can go out with A on Friday and B on Saturday, and C can take me to brunch on Sunday. That's dating.
Well, okay.
And slowly, you know, someone come, you know, ooh, and someone else.
And then also, because when you start liking someone,
you don't even want to see them.
And it's like, no. When you start liking someone, you gotta hold it back. It's like, okay, my whole life doesn't revolve around this one guy.
Yeah, that's hard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But eventually, you know, it works itself out, and then boom, you're all together. But in the this talking stages are just hell. Ooh, I'm so glad I'm not in that. But you know, it's part of life. But don't rush, don't settle.
Yeah, don't settle.
And what's for you is for you.
And also, if you do find yourself in that like relationship, or that, you know, even a longer time relationship, or even a short time relationship, whatever, something bad doesn't have to happen for you to end that relationship. Like, I say that, but then I see a lot of people stay in relationships because there's been nothing bad. Like, there's been no cheating, they don't really argue, they don't fight, but the person is bored. Like, they don't really feel attracted to the person anymore. They feel complacent. Like, they're just there. And I'm like,
we're too young.
Yeah, like, that's enough of a reason to end a relationship. Absolutely. It doesn't have to end in bad blood or anything, but that is, you can leave. Like,
and that person's probably gonna be confused.
Yeah.
Because I've been there, and it's like, well, what did I do? Yeah. You didn't do nothing. I just don't like you anymore.
Like, you know, it
not
was
like
cool.
that.
Enjoyed it was great.
Yeah,
When
but
it-
say
when it
that
was-
sooner than later. Don't be leading people on.
Definitely don't drag it.
Yeah.
But don't wait. Don't wait for the
Yeah.
don't wait for the fuck up. And it's been 4 years done past, and
Yeah.
you don't wait for the fuck up.
And I would say also, these are our young years. I know it's like, you know, people, they have their goals, like they want to get married, you gotta date, but like, I wouldn't recommend you sending your life over finding like that person. Like, it's like, it happens when it happens. It's gonna happen when you're not looking for it.
Yeah.
And, you know, you have priorities now. Like, you might need to be in your grind season. Like, 1 year, I did not date at all. Like, I was like locked in because I'm focusing on my career. And, you know, that's just, you have seasons like that. So it's okay, you know, to not be dating anyone. Like, it's literally okay. Your life doesn't have to revolve around another person just yet. These are like really prime years where we're like building that foundation for our future, and you don't want to waste it on some loser.
And I think it's really important, like this is just a health tip in general. Y'all, make sure you're regularly getting tested. Whether you're in a relationship.
Our next one is
yeah.
health.
I'm like, whether you're in a relationship or you're single. Like I tell people all the time, like I just get tested every 3 months whenever I get my birth control shot. That's just what's easier for me. Even if I'm not active within those 3 months, I just keep the routine going. Probably a waste of money. Probably stop doing that when I get kicked off my mom's health insurance. Who knows? But just make it a routine, because there's so many times where people don't understand where something has came from, or they can't pinpoint a time if like it was before they got with this person and they got more serious, or after. In your relationship, just at least once a year, if you are in a relationship, just try to make it a time where you guys go and both get tested, just to be sure. You'd rather be safe than sorry.
And if you can't talk to somebody about that, you probably should not you should not be having sex with them. And that doesn't even have to be a relationship. Like, even when something is like a casual, you know, every so often, or like we just are doing this and having fun, like that's okay, but you should at least like have a good enough rapport and respect for that person to where like you should be able to talk to anybody that you are sexually active with about, like, you know, do you have anything going on, right? Like, you don't even have to be in my business, or, you know, vice versa, but you should be able to talk about that kind of stuff. Like, when is the last time you got tested?
Look at the results.
How often have you been, you know, whatever. Like, are you doing everything else protected? Like, is everything protected? And if you can't talk to someone about that, or if they're defensive about that, then that is how you know you don't need to be there.
Yeah, girl, but they in somebody else's poop.
But yeah, but we say this because like I've seen so many I feel like bright minds literally have their lives ruined by these situationships, or these loser men who will they will suck the life out of you. When you're in college, you know, you're away from your parents, you have all this freedom. But remember what you came to college for, sis. Like, you know, people get to college and, you know, something bumps in the road, and bumps in the road happen, but you are your own advocate. Like, make smart choices and put yourself first. Like, just don't let no man ruin your life, please.
Yeah.
Or girl.
Yeah.
Please. Okay, so health. So yeah, just health stuff. You know, we're young adults, so our parents aren't making our doctor's appointments anymore. If you have access to healthcare, you know, make sure you're going to the doctor at least once a year, you know, for your annual physical. It can be a little scary going by yourself. I'm not too scared of the doctor. I feel like I like it because I go because I'm choosing to go. I'd rather choose to go and schedule it versus have to go because, okay, something is wrong and I can't, you know, I missed it. But it's just what we have to do. It's better to be preventative and just to know. And I know, like, it's hard. It's just, I can understand people are scared of the doctor, but you can't have this theory that, like, oh, I was fine until I went to the doctor and they told me X, Y, and Z.
Oh, girl,
like,
you were sick.
You were not fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So just, you know, stay on top of it. Keep your teeth clean.
Plaque in the teeth.
I feel like
red flag.
I feel like I just like thought of the same person or something.
Nope.
It was just too in sync for me.
I look at people's teeth all the time, and it's like, I'm not saying you have the whitest teeth, but if I could see that you don't floss, that's great.
Yeah, floss.
Use a tongue scraper. Tongue scrapers.
Yep.
Those are real.
I love my tongue scraper.
Disposable ones. Metal ones.
Yeah.
All tongue scrapers.
I have one more thing on health, because this has been like big for me lately. Part of, this is kind of like career profession driven, but like working in a really high stress environment like we do, excuse me, will like really stress you. And it's like, lately I haven't been able to like pinpoint exactly the physical thing, but I can sense how my job gets me so like worked up and anxious because there's just always so much to do, and like your emails, you know, inbox is blowing up, and like people are calling, and you've got meetings and deadlines, and it just seems like there's not enough hours in the day. So, you know, that's kind of more of just like an anxiety thing, which is like really real with like panic attacks and stuff like that. So it's just really important to like also find the time, even when it might be compromising something else. Like I'm very quick to be like, okay, I need to take a break right now, even though like, okay, I'm working on this thing, but like I need 30 minutes to like go on a walk or like go sit outside, get some fresh air, like, you know, whatever it might be. I just think that that's really important because we have to build those healthy habits like earlier in your career. Like if you're younger and you're getting into these high stress environments, start having those healthy habits sooner than later, because I'm sure like we work with people who are older who they just don't turn it off, and they're high strung all the time. Their heart rate's probably like through the roof,
and they're like always sick. You notice how they always have a cough or like a sneeze.
Yeah,
and I'm like
your immune system has gone
pushed
to
and I'm like, go on vacation, Steve.
Yeah. So don't be that person. Create that balance.
Take care. Self-care is real. Like taking care of yourself, eating right. You know, metabolism slow down, y'all. Metabolism slow down. Work out.
Eat your vegetables. Like, please eat your fruits, eat your vegetables, drink water. You're too old to say, I don't like water. I don't eat vegetables.
I don't eat nothing that's
You're just
eat vegetables. And you know, you'll feel better. Like when I'm eating badly and I'm just,
you feel it.
I'm like, oh, why am I in such a bad mood? Oh, I've been eating garbage. Literally, I'm like, oh wow, like amazing. So yeah, eat right, take care of your body,
and you're gonna
and mental health. It's okay to talk to someone.
Talk to the lady. Listen. But not even the lady. Even if you can have like, cause for me personally, like I mean, luckily like I'm on my mom's insurance still, so I can afford stuff like that. But if you can't, or even if you just don't feel like making the appointments, because for me, I just don't want to make the appointments. If you have a friend who's okay with like you can talk to, that you feel comfortable with, they feel comfortable with, utilize your friends, because I tell my friends all the time, like, do not ever feel like you have to go through anything alone. Like, just call me, girl. You know, you're not gonna get probably, if you're looking for a yes man, do not call me. But like, if you really need just to vent or anything, like just call me, just let me know. And there's a lot of people out there like that. Like, you're not always alone.
Yeah, I talk to myself.
Yep.
I will write a note app. I will, you know, you just gotta get it out. Expression is real. I'm not a person that bottles stuff in.
Yeah.
Because eventually it is gonna come out. So yeah, and like what you were saying with stress, like when I'm really stressed out, I notice my neck gets super tight. And this is like, you hold a lot of stress here.
Store it.
Yeah, because it's right from the brain.
Yep. And you just get,
maybe
not that extreme, but like you'll notice yourself while you're working.
Stomach hurt.
Yeah.
Physically sick.
Yeah, break it out.
Oh.
Literally, we're literally young, but it's like stretch. Start stretching now. Get up from that desk if you sit at a desk all day.
No, yeah,
touch your toes.
We're supposed to stretch. We're supposed to stretch just how animals stretch. Them dogs stretch.
My dog be.
Yeah, we're supposed to be doing that, you guys.
Yeah.
I could do better at stretching too.
Me too.
Yeah.
And you know, the drinking. But
I wasn't gonna say that, but
it'll come. I think eventually
we're social drinkers.
Yeah.
So it's inevitable.
Yeah. Live a healthy lifestyle with a side of tequila.
Yeah. But okay, we're gonna do some closing remarks. Maybe if you made it this far, comment below. We need to I just want to know who made it this far.
I also like learning new things. So if you have things that you've incorporated into your lifestyle that's benefited you, like go ahead and comment that.
Okay, yeah. Okay, but my closing is I would just say to just try to maintain a positive outlook on life, and that these years, they're gonna be tough. You know, I don't think a lot of people say too many great things about your 20s. But I've heard that it gets better. So we're in the thick of it now, but you know, this is still around. And when we're in our 30s, we'll look back and be like, yes, we made it out, y'all. It's amazing, but all I can talk about is right now. And it's rough, but it's a learning period, and you go through it, and it's gonna be okay.
My just piece to take away would be, I saw a quote from one of the Sex and the City actresses, and she said she never wants to be in any setting for more than an hour where she's not enjoying herself. And I think that in itself is really important, but I think it applies to like family, friends, and dating, like if you are just genuinely not enjoying yourself, or you feel like you have to walk on eggshells in a setting or with certain people, then those are just people who should not be around you. So just put yourself first. If you're not receiving good stuff from a person or a scenario, then you should just remove yourself. You shouldn't be there.
Just be positive, guys. Like, try to take the positive outlook on life. Like, everything is better when you find the positive in something. And there's literally a positive in every single thing that happens. You just have to find it. Don't choose to focus on the negatives. Don't dwell. Like, these times are supposed to be like hard for us. Like, we're supposed to be grinding and going through stuff to shape us for the future and get us ready for that next level in life. So just ride it out. It's gonna be some bad things, it's gonna be some great things. At the end of the day, if everything's funny, it's all fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I definitely look back and laugh.
Yeah, like just
already laughing. Yes.
And don't take things that are like out of your control too seriously. Like, it's nothing you could do in that moment. Like, just have a better outlook.
Yeah, I told myself I'm not gonna worry about what I can't control.
Yeah.
Happiness is definitely a choice, though. It's a choice. So.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, thank you all for hanging out with us. Let us know if you want another round. Would love to keep filming these. I'll have all of their info in the description box, and we'll see you all in the next one.
We're gonna do some strawberry lettuce next.
Bye.
Bye.
Uh-oh, the game in trouble. Started out small, now they paying me double. Yeah, you can drip check, baby, like mustard. Yeah.